Hello and welcome to Empower Coaching. My name is Sarah Curtis and I own Empower Coaching. I'm a personal development and mindset coach. And I use tools from various different fields of psychology, but including positive psychology, to help people transform their lives for the better. In today's 10-minute tutorial, I want to discuss with you a particular positive psychology tool that I use and I recommend to clients on how to shift your mindset. And it's a real simple, easy tool to use, but it has transformational results. And it's called the Best Possible Self exercise. Okay, so let's get into this. When I first started exploring the world of positive psychology, I admit I was a huge cynic. I didn't necessarily understand the full science behind it, and the whole choose happiness, choose positivity mantras, I kind of felt were part of toxic positivity. And I didn't necessarily think that they would be helpful or useful to deal with, say, deep-rooted mental health issues. And that's where I was, right? I was in a sense of despair, in a depths of depression, suffering from quite a lot of crippling mental health anxiety issues at the time. And so choosing positivity and choosing happiness, for me, just did not resonate at the time. However, what I did decide to do is I started to study this. And after many years studying, researching, writing essays, looking at peer-reviewed articles on this subject, and actually eventually gaining accreditation, master's degree, I therefore completely changed my perspective on this. And what I've done is I've applied these tools to myself and in my own life, and I've recommended them to other people. And it is transformational. The science is there to back it up. And what I can do in the show notes, I will pop links to all the articles that I can recommend that you read that shows you the science behind some of these practices. But in any case, what I will say is based on that science, we can use these exercises and these tools to really elevate our lives and really amplify the way we feel about ourselves, which actually is proven to improve well-being. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, so let's just start from the basics. So, time and time again, the trait or state of optimism has been well documented to lead to improved and greater physical well-being and even longevity. Optimists are happy people, and they look forward to the future and they believe that things are going to work out. And that's not to say that bad things don't happen to them. They're not immune from negative events or situations. And nor are they immune from feeling the negative feelings that come from experiencing such events, such as frustration, anger, sadness. All of those things are natural, healthy human responses, and we need them. As part of being human, we have to have those as well as the positive emotions as well. But optimists have a level of resilience that allows them to work through their feelings much more quickly. And rather that those events and situations force them into stagnation, they do use it to propel them forward. There is a saying by John Lennon, which is really appropriate to use at this juncture, and I actually really like it. And I guess I can kind of draw on the meaning behind this when I'm in situations where I find it's less favourable than I would like, right? So it's everything will be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. So well done to John Lennon for that, because I think that's a really profound quote. Okay, so if optimism has all of these benefits, then wouldn't it be great if we could all learn it? Well, you can. And, you know, there's simple things you can do. And what I'm going to cover today in today's video is the best possible self exercise, which will help you learn to be optimistic and help you learn these skills. Many researchers have studied and determined that this can positively impact people's mindsets, increase optimism, leading to higher levels of mental and physical well-being. And that's what we all want, isn't it? So, I won't go into the studies because what I will do is I'll link them below if you're interested in reading a little bit more about that science. It is useful. It is worth having a look. If you're in any way doubt that these kind of things work, there is some real good scientific research backing it up. But let's get straight into the exercise. How do we do the best possible self-exercise? It is so simple. So, what I would say is what you need to do for sure is allocate 10 to 15 minutes every day for a minimum of 2 weeks. You're going to need a pen and a piece of paper. Basically, that's it. Get yourself a nice notebook or a journal or something like that if you prefer. But actually, essentially, if you don't have any of those things to hand, they are not barriers. A pen and paper will suffice. And it's a really simple exercise. And I feel like that can sometimes be a barrier for people because it is so simple and they can't understand how it can have such profound impacts on their lives. But trust in the process because it absolutely does. So, find somewhere quiet and peaceful for you to sit and write continuously about your imagined best possible future self. Let all your ideas come freely. Don't censor anything, even bad grammar or spelling. Let it all out on paper. Step 1. Block some time in your diary or in your online calendar, whatever you use, to dedicate to this activity over the next 2-week period. Or more, ideally more. Lock it in though, so it actually happens. So you can't use the excuse of you don't have time. You do have time, we can make the time available. Step 2. Decide how you're going to organise what you want to write about. So you can try different categories, and what I like to do with my clients and with myself is I separate my life into these 8 distinct areas. So that includes my love and relationships, friends and family, health and fitness, work, career, business, finances, how I contribute to the world. What do I do recreationally? What do I do for fun and hobbies? So I do that, it's like a bit of a wheel of life exercise, but I do that in terms of what areas I'm going to cover when I'm looking at this future self exercise. So you can come up with your own or you can use those. It's entirely up to you. Step 3. Sit somewhere quiet where you're free from distractions and set yourself a timer for 10 to 15 minutes. And step 4, you're simply writing on paper your realistic, best possible future self for each of those categories. Imagine that you are happy and have all that you could ever want. Imagine that you've worked hard for all of the opportunities that have come your way. And you've taken them, you've grabbed them with both hands. And where have they led you to? You have achieved all that you imagined possible. And think about the steps that you needed to take in order for you to get there. How would it mean and how would it feel making that positive progress towards your goals, dreams and desires? And when painting your ideal future self, be as specific as you can. Who's going to be there with you, cheering you on? What are you going to be doing? How do you do it? What would you see, taste, hear, smell, touch? What are you wearing? What does your hair look like? All of these things, be as specific and as detailed as you can possibly be. And be descriptive and imaginative. Really put yourself into the day of the life of your best possible future self. And step 5, repeat that exercise every single day for at least 2 weeks. I would say the longer you can do this, and if you can make this as part of your daily habits and a daily routine for all the time, and just as you would do with gratitude, then do that, because that consistency and that habit really helps reframe your brain to actually believe these things are possible and have that optimistic kind of outlook between where you are now and where you want to be. So hopefully that's helped. If you would like some journal prompts around your best possible self to help you get started with this activity, please comment below and I will send you a free download. There's a link there that you can get and you can get yourself started on this exercise. And I promise you that if you do this, it will be transformational. So let me know in the comments below how you found it. Anyway, that's enough for me for this week. I will